Yo, dudes, the Empire's pretty chill. Maybe you could, join it or something.
Another day in the life of watching movies, so let's see what's on here, shall we? Oh, look at this. An animated Transformers movie called Transformers: The Movie, released in 1986. Well, I'm a big Transformers fan, guys, so yeah, I think I definitely should check this out. Luke, don't watch a movie! Future me? What are you doing here? Oh, hold on. You don't even need to tell me, do you? I know. You're going to warn me about this movie I'm about to watch, aren't you? Yep, that's right, I'm here to warn you about it, because it's really bad. You're going to hate it. Well, I don't want to hear any more of what you say about these movies, okay? Because I want to judge these for myself for my channel, okay? So I can get my view on them. So can you please leave? Oh no, I can't leave you. You can't watch this movie. You're going to really hate it because you're a big Transformers fan. You're going to really hate this movie. Fine, you leave me no choice but to ring a very good friend of mine to get rid of you. Oh, hi, Thanos. You know that person who tries to stop me from watching movies? Yeah, can you please snap him away right now? Thank you. No! That's better. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, now, anyway, without further ado, let's go and watch a movie, shall we? Well, that was a big letdown. Oh my god, right? I was expecting this movie to be really good because, I'm a massive fan of, the G1 Transformers show. Only the first 2 seasons, and, this was released after them, and, oh my god. This was just a massive letdown and a big disappointment. So yeah, hey everyone, Lucimus Prime here, and so today I'm going to be reviewing a Transformers movie as part of the Transformers review series, and it is none other than The Transformers: The Movie, released in 1986, an animated movie. Now, this is notorious for having negative reviews when it first came out. It was a box office failure, but it gained a cult classic status decades later, and many critics favour this movie over Michael Bay live-action remakes. Now, I personally am not one of these people, to be honest, guys. I actually only prefer this more than my least favourite live-action Transformers movie, which is The Last Knight. But that's not saying much because there's loads of, movies, Transformers live-action movies, which I prefer way more than the other ones, to be honest. So, yeah. My favourite one, of course, is Bumblebee, so, yeah. Now, the good quality of the movie I'll get through first. So, one good quality I will say, which makes me prefer it over Last Night, is, I think one good thing is there's a lack of, plot holes, to be honest, guys. There's a lack of plot holes, which I guess is a good thing. And I'm happy about that. And also, the voice cast, in my opinion, does a very good job. A vast majority of them are very good. Obviously, my favourite voice actor of all time, Peter Cullen, always will be Optimus Prime, and he did a phenomenal job voicing Optimus. And when it comes to many of the new characters introduced, I loved many of the new voices, and they're personally my favourite voice for a character. For example, Judd Nelson is my favourite voice of Hot Rod. Robert Stack, rest in peace, is my favourite voice of Ultra Magnus. Leonard Nimoy, rest in peace, and Live Long and Prosper is my favourite voice of Galvatron. And also, there's probably others as well that I do love, such as Susan Blue as RC. She's among my favourite female Transformers of all time, guys. I really do like RC. But personally, guys, when it comes to, Susan Blue, while I think she was very good as RC, I do like RC. I prefer Summer Lynn Montano's version a lot more, to be honest. But yeah, that's my opinion. And of course, alongside these new characters, we also got a new one called Springer, voiced by Neil Ross, and he's one of the few new characters voiced by an actor who's returning from the show, because he's, of course, in the show as a voice of several Combaticons, such as Bone Crusher and Hook. So, yeah, he's returning, and, but yeah, when it comes as well to, it's also good how many returning characters return voiced by the original actors from the show. For example, I already mentioned Neil Ross, but Frank Welker reprised his roles as Megatron and Soundwave, and also as Frenzy and Rumble, which was great. Frank Welker's a phenomenal voice actor. And he also voiced Wheelie as well. So yeah, him and Neil Ross both returned from the show to voice new characters. But when it comes to Wheelie, guys, I think he sounded a bit silly in my opinion, and that's why I very much preferred Tom Kenny's version from the live-action movies, because I think he's really funny as him, and I can take him a lot more seriously, to be honest. That's my opinion. And, of course, I did also like the return of Dan Gillan as Bumblebee. He's my favourite voice of Bumblebee. Peter Cullen also reprised as well as Ironhide, but only briefly, and we'll get to why I'm saying briefly. And also, I also liked how Scatman Crothers also returned as Jazz. This was unfortunately his final film because he died shortly after it came out, so rest in peace, Scatman Crothers. It was one of them anyway, I think, yeah. Casey Kasem, rest in peace, also returned as Cliff Jumper as well. And many others also returned from the show, but yeah. There is one bad quality I will say regarding the individual characters, which makes me hate this movie. And we'll get to why. And furthermore, I did also like the inclusion of the antagonist Unicron, who is voiced by Orson Welles, rest in peace. And he's definitely my favourite voice of Unicron. And I think, you know, when it comes to, you know, Unicron, there was a rumour that apparently Orson Welles was not able to finish recording his dialogue for a movie. And that it was reported that apparently Leonard Nimoy filled in for his remaining lines. But Susan Blue confirmed that Orson was able to complete his work on the film before he died. So yeah, I'm glad he got to finish his work on the film because he was phenomenal as a voice of Unicron. And when it comes to returning characters, I did also like Chris Latta as Starscream. He's definitely my favourite Starscream, and he was pretty good in this movie. And it was also nice how he briefly got to be the leader of the Decepticons, which was his dream, of course, to be the leader. So yeah. And the animation for 986 is also pretty decent as well, I will admit. It's pretty alright, I will admit, for a 986 movie. It's pretty good animation. However, the bad qualities, oh my god, right? It's full of them, in my opinion, guys, and which makes me hate the movie. So, for example, my biggest complaint with the movie is probably the biggest complaint that children have with the movie back when they saw it in the theatres in 986, which is how they killed off Optimus Prime. Only like about half an hour into the movie, they killed off Optimus. Like, when I first saw this movie, you know, because the thing is, guys, while I was waiting for the Dark Moon to come out in the cinemas, I binge-watched this show and the movie. And, when Optimus Prime died, I was heartbroken because he is my favourite character in cinematic history, guys, and he died. And unlike Avenger of Fallen, where they resurrected him and made his leadership, he stays dead in this movie, and we had to wait until the returning series for him to return. Like, I hated that, how they killed him so early. And I also heard, guys, that apparently children were so upset that they walked out of cinemas when he died, and I actually don't blame them, because if I was in the 80s watching this movie, I'd also walk out as well if he died. I'd have walked out with them. Like, how dare they mistreat Optimus Prime like that? Like, he did not deserve of his death at all. And I also saw the trailer for the movie as well, guys, and, you know, it teased the fight between Optimus and Megatron, and the narration said it was their final fight. And one of the questions the narration said was, does Prime die? And guess what? He does die. So, yeah, that just really upset me, guys, so, yeah. I mean, if you guys don't like Optimus, then this is your dream come true, because he's finally out of commission, you know, but he's my favourite character, so I was heartbroken. Another bad quality that I will also say is, I also really hated how many of the original Transformers were either wasted or killed in this movie. For example, I really hate how many Autobots I love, such as Ironhide, Ratchet, Prowl, and Brawn from the G1 show, they all got completely wasted in the first 10 minutes of the movie when the Decepticons enter their ship and kill them. Like, I don't get it, because they survived so much in the G1 show, only to end up dying so early into this movie. Like, I was so disappointed about that, and especially Ironhide, because, you know, Ironhide was, you know, was one of my favourite Autobots in the G1 show, and he got wasted in this movie. So, yeah, I was very disappointed. Thankfully, some Autobots do survive, but, you know, many of them die. I mean, Many of them also die off screen with no explanation. For example, Wheeljack and Windcharger die off screen, which I hated. I was furious about that because I like those characters. Like, what a letdown. And they also, when it comes to survivors, thank God characters like Bumblebee, Cliffjumper and Jazz survived. So yeah. Although unfortunately, when it comes to Jazz in Series 3 and 4, he does not talk. He only makes one appearance in the series premiere of Series 3 during that, you know, race with other cars. And doesn't talk because obviously Scatman Crothers died, so they did not recast him, which I think was the right thing to do because I think that role belongs to Scatman. So yeah, rest in peace, Scatman Crothers. And other bad qualities as well that I gotta say is there's also many characters whose fates they never even confirm. For example, Shockwave, because Shockwave was also incredibly wasted in this movie because he only appears in around 2 scenes, guys, and I think he only has 2 lines, I believe, such as, you know, Laserbeak returns Megatron and also Decepticons Under Attack Scramble. He might have said more if I remember correctly, but I'm not sure. I don't think he did, no. But, sadly, Shockwave was incredibly wasted in this movie. You know, he was hardly in it. I mean, they never even confirmed if he died or not when you know, Unicron attacked Cybertron. They never confirmed his fate. So if that was a massive disappointment, I really did not like that. So yeah, it was just disappointing, really, what we did with, you know, many of the characters in this movie. You know, killing off many of them, especially Optimus, because he's my favourite character of all time. And this movie also ended up creating like a running gag in the Transformers franchise where Optimus has to die and then come back again later. It's happened in many other shows, for example, in Transformers Animated and also the Michael Bay movies. Because in Revenge of Fallen he dies but comes back. And even in Transformers Prime, you know, he sacrificed himself in the Predacons Rising movie and then he comes back in another show, Robots in Disguise, which is a continuation of Prime, so yeah. Like, it was just, you know, disappointing really what we did with the characters of this movie. And, you know, I just didn't like it. And when it comes to Decepticons, many of them were also wasted, but thankfully they didn't die. For example, Soundwave thankfully did not die, and he returned in the following series, but he didn't really have much screen time in the following series. But one thing that's really confusing is that in this movie, during the final confrontation with Unicron, which was on, the Decepticons, Dirge, Ramjet and Frost, they fly to Unicron to attack him, but guess what, guys? He eats them and kills them. Which I did not like, because I like those characters, I think they're underrated Decepticons. But for some strange reason, guys, they showed up in the following series, you know, perfectly undamaged, alive and well somehow, which I really don't get. Like, it made absolutely no sense how they came back later, you know, like... When I like to rewatch the shows, guys, I only watch the first 2 seasons of G1, and I pretend the movie and the subsequent season after that don't exist. Because they're so not canon to me, you know. Like, this movie destroys what I love about Transformers, guys, to be honest, you know, because it kills off many beloved characters who I've grown up watching in the show. Like, it just doesn't feel right, to be honest, really, watching this movie, because they killed off so many great characters. I mean, thankfully many of them do survive, but, you know, some don't, which I hated. So, yeah. But, you know, not to mention as well, I also feel like Spike was also a bit wasted too, you know, Spike Witwicky, the main human protagonist of G1, who I like way more than any of the Michael Bay protagonists. What disappointed me as well about Spike was, you know, get this, guys, right? This movie was aimed at children, right? You know, this was a children's movie, and guess what, guys? Spike swears. Yeah. In a children's movie, guys, Spike says the S word. Like, because, you know, because when he and Bumblebee's ship is getting sucked into Unicron, and Spike sees that, you know, that you know, there's been no damage done to Unicron, he yells, "Oh, S word, what are we going to do now?" And then he gets sucked in. So, like, I'm thinking, you're doing this movie for children because Transformers is based on a children's toy line by Hasbro. Disgusting. Like, it was just, you know, so wrong how they made him swear in a children's movie. Because when I saw this movie, guys, for the first time, I was actually really shocked that he sweared. Because, you know, I was, of course, aware that in the first film by Michael Bay, Revenge of Fallen, that, you know, characters swear. But I know, because the thing is, guys, the D&D movie I have is rated universal, which means suitable for all ages. Yeah. And the bad thing is, you know, sadly, included a swear word in it. Yeah, I think it was either universal or PG, you know, parental guidance, you know. So, like, you make it a PG movie, you know, with swearing in it, that's just a joke. Like, just so stupid. So, yeah, like, so to summarise the bad qualities, you know, did not like how they killed off Optimus and many other beloved characters that I love. And also, the swearing as well, and also not explaining the fate of many characters. And many of them also died off screen and they were confirmed to be dead in later episodes as well. And I also hated how, in you know, the future seasons, having made Optimus Prime a zombie in the episode called Dark Awakening. I hate how they made him a zombie. Well, that disappointed me, but thankfully he comes back to life properly in a 2-part series, which was... The 2-part series called Return of Optimus Prime and G1's probably the only episodes I liked in Series 3 and 4, to be honest, guys, so yeah. Because I feel like, you know, viewers were a bit of a letdown, but yeah. Anyway, guys, so if you're wondering why I'd give this movie out of 10, because, like, as I prevailed over last night, which I now give a 4 out of 10 after thinking about my opinion on it, I now give this movie a 4.5 out of 10 because I really hate it. I don't like to rewatch it. I like to pretend it's not canon to a G1 series. So, you know, drill, guys. Be sure to give this video a like. Also, be sure to leave my comments what you guys think of this movie. If you've seen your thoughts on the Transformers movie, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on it. Also, be sure to join Team by my best and subscribe for movies coming in the future. And if you want to be a member, you can press join if you're using a PC or laptop. And also, you can click the link in the description. And till all are one.